back. If you've just joined us, you're watching Channels Television celebrating 21 years of professional broadcasting. This is the news at 10. Here's a reminder of our top stories tonight. United Nations agency raises alarm over 75,000 children in Nigeria's northeast in danger of starving to death in the next few months. Distribution of relief materials to internally displaced persons in Abuja ends in chaos as impatient recipients grab items from aid workers. Senate rejects 46 non-career ambassadorial nominees list from President Buhari. Lawmakers cite numerous petitions against the nominations. And Egypt's Supreme Court overturns death sentence handed down to former leader Mohamed Morsi and others. Just a quick reminder to you now that all our top stories are on our website, channelstv.com, and on youtube.com/channelsweb. And do log on to m.channelstv.com to view us live on your mobile device. You can also download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows phones from their respective stores. Besides the news and updates, the Channels TV app has an eyewitness feature. We encourage you to use it to share those pictures, videos or news of happenings around you. Just install the app, then tap and swipe to reveal the eyewitness menu and then follow the instructions. Now we have some of those pictures that were sent in to us, and let's share them with you, shall we? Let's begin with this picture showing a gridlock on a long stretch of the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway due to the ongoing repair work. Our eyewitness reporter is asking for a speedy completion of the project to reduce the long hours spent in traffic. And here's one from Kubwa in Abuja of a volunteer controlling traffic on Arab Road in the absence of a traffic warden. Our eyewitness reporter commends the individual's decision to serve his community. And from Lagos State comes this next image of a gated street in Songotedo area of the state. According to the eyewitness reporter, the gate was allegedly locked by the estate landlords in a bid to get residents pay outstanding dues by holding them to ransom. And here's one showing a portion of the Agbado crossing road which links the Ishaga area to Ogun State. Our eyewitness reporter wants the road fixed. Let's end with this picture from Ikurudu here in Lagos, showing the state of the Igbobo-Bayeku road. Our eyewitness reporter is calling on the authorities to fix it quickly. Thanks a lot for all your pictures, and do send us some more. The Inspector General of Police, Mr. Ibrahim Idris, has been explaining the role played by security operatives during the violence involving members of the Islamic Movement of Nigeria and policemen in Kano. Speaking with State House correspondents in Abuja, the IGP said his men were confronted by protesters who were heavily armed. He insisted that the policemen have the responsibility to ensure that no organization or individuals constitute themselves into a government.
As police officers, obviously, we have a responsibility to ensure there is law and order. And where you have people taking over the whole country, dominating streets, dominating buildings, we have a responsibility to sort of ensure that we maintain sanity in those areas. And what happens is that, for some few, as of yesterday, we've got information that they are trying to block that Kano route, then from Kano to Zaria. And they later assembled in large numbers, and our officers deployed to the place to ensure that they ensure freedom of movement of ordinary Nigerians. They attack our officers, they kill one of our police officers. One has sustained an arrow wound on his head, and obviously in that situation, the police officers have a responsibility to ensure that they maintain law and order as well other needs and dog the road to ensure that there is freedom of movement of Nigerians.
Meanwhile, a member of the group has been speaking on the disruption of the protest march in Kano, which left over 8 people dead. On our breakfast program, Sunrise Daily, Mr. Medua Inua accused the federal government as well as the police of killing several members of the movement. According to him, all Nigerians have the right to religious freedom under the Constitution.
Under our Constitution, which is the ground norm in Nigeria, right, particularly Section 38, sub 1, it gives an unfettered right to all Nigerian citizens to practice their religion, their thoughts, conscience, without restriction or harassment. And in the practice of this religion or thought or conscience, you can do that as an individual or in community. So you only seek to apply or request for the protection of the security where you are envisaging a threat. And perhaps, to our own case, the security are our threats. They are the one threatening our life. We have been on air severally. We undergo series of press release telling the international community that this is the arrangement the Nigerian government is having. They have long planned to attack the trekking. And actually what happened yesterday was the execution of their long planned.
The reason I ask
it wasn't a provoked attack. They attack us. If you're talking of protest, it's a different thing. But for the trekking, we know that we are using the highway and other citizens have equal right of access. So we don't block the highway. Well, and particularly, again, yesterday when we branched, our people branched at one village they call Karifi, the police still follow them. They are burnt most of our assets. Most of our assets, where do we use even in cooking food, were being destroyed. They burnt them there. They still open fire on us indiscriminately.
The other part of the response, could you hang on a minute?
People of old age.
Let me bring this in. The police also say that...
They kill and take away the cops.
From that controversial matter, we cross over to Abuja now, and here's Ibrahim Adra. Ibrahim.
Many thanks, Amarachi. We also talk about security report here from one coming from the southern part of Kaduna, where at least 31 people have been reported killed and several others injured after gunmen attacked 4 communities in Kauru local government area of that state. And these fresh attacks come just a day after public apology by the state governor Nasir El-Rufai, signaling the end to the frequent conflicts between herdsmen and indigents of the southern Kaduna. Eyewitness account told our correspondent that the gunmen invaded the 4 communities on Sunday night, shooting people and burning houses and farmlands. Meanwhile, the Kaduna state government has confirmed the incident, describing it as barbaric and unfortunate. In a statement, the government insists that the attacks in the 4 communities will not derail the ongoing peace-building effort in the area and condoles with the victims. Meanwhile, the Senate has summoned the Inspector General of Police, Mr. Ibrahim Idris, to appear before its security committees to explain why the Nigerian police failed to curb the incessant, mindless killings in the southern part of Kaduna State. The Senate made this decision after federal lawmaker Senator Danju Mala raised a motion calling for the declaration of a state of emergency in the area as a result of protracted killings of residents.
Senate is aware that there has been regular attack by armed herdsmen, the latest being the 15 and 16 October 2016 in Godogodo community in Jama local government area, as well as other communities in Kaura, Sanga, and Kauru local government areas, resulting in several deaths, injuries, and wanton destructions of properties worth billions of naira. Senate should call on the federal government to declare a security emergency in southern Kaduna senatorial district of Kaduna State. Senate should call on the federal government to actualize the resolve to set up a military battalion based in Kafanchan or some such other places in southern Kaduna senatorial district of Kaduna State.
Now, still on security, it has been 60 days of intense and sometimes dangerous work of disarming and enlisting thousands of cultists into the River State Amnesty Program. This is according to the River State Amnesty Committee, which today presented its final report to the governor of the state, Nyesom Wike. The report states that the exercise, which took place in all the local government areas in the state, recorded over 20,000 repentant cultists on the program.
Alleged cultists in their numbers arriving at the venue of a recent amnesty program put together by the Rivers State government. After 60 days of holding similar exercises by the Amnesty Committee in the local government areas in the state, hundreds of recovered arms, ammunition, explosives, machetes are on display in the premises of the Rivers State Government House in Port Harcourt, the state capital. Governor Nyesom Wike, accompanied by heads of security agencies in the state, is here to see things for himself. Some recommendations by the special advisor.
All the weapons surrendered by the penitent cultists should be destroyed publicly. 2. All armed community vigilante groups in Rivers State should be disbanded, as they are cultists and currently portend high security risks. 3. Direct all communities to surrender their weapons and liaise with the security agencies to enforce this.
The governor, who appears impressed, responds to the report.
We have just heard the report of the committee, which is a detailed report. And I can assure you that the government, through the Executive Council down to Security Council, will swing into action immediately. But before that, to show that government is serious, I have disbanded all vigilante committees in the various communities and direct the security agencies to make sure that we don't have such committees, except when they have profiled them and have approved that they don't belong to any cult group. And I want to say, for those that were given the opportunity, I have refused to utilize this opportunity. I direct the security agencies to go after them, because the time for amnesty is over.
Going forward, some say the next challenge will be to sustain the gains so far recorded for the peace and prosperity of the state. Emmanuel Irey, Channels Television News.
All right, we'll now get right back to Lagos, where Ijoma is standing by and not Amarachi.
It's
Ijoma,
okay, Ibrahim, I understand. It's just me here today, but it's all good. All right, still ahead on the news at 10. The central bank gives Heritage Bank clean bill of health, insists lender is not distressed. That's on business. Please stay with us.